I think what we'll do is start. My name is Ed Ludbrook. For those of you that don't know me, I am the founder and the CEO of the Dacxi. We have with us. This is the first webinar that we had as far as the launch of the UK. I am now in the UK. For those of you that don't know that, I'm in here a little over a week, meeting people and having, I think it's just, as Andrew, who's in Australia, there is Andrew and I, we believe that the UK is going to be a spectacular market. We think that the timing coming into this market with what Dacxi brings, with its power, but also with the sort of certain conservatism that Dacxi has as far as the security, as far as the simplicity of the product. We're not trying to create some product that's highly speculative or has crazy competitors. Our job is to help the world come in and make a lot more money out of wealth. So for that, we think the timing is great, and that's what seems to have come through in every single presentation that I've had that's here. This is a market that I know a lot about. I've worked consistently in this market, and what I want to do is I want to run through a very simple presentation, which will explain the Dacxi opportunity. And then what I want to do is I want to hear from a couple of guys in Australia that we've been working together over actually the last few months, just to talk about their experiences in the marketplace and what's happening for them at the moment, which I think is super relevant. So if we can do that, sounds like a good idea. Yes.
Yep.
No, yes? Okay, fantastic. All right, so let me just do this. Great, so can everyone see that? I hope so.
Yeah.
Can everyone see that? Great, okay, so look, the company, I just want to be super clear, the company is called Dacxi, okay? It actually means something. DA means digital assets, CXI. And you'll see that we're called the crowd finance company. It's people relate to us as far as crypto, but our vision for the business is a lot bigger than what most people imagine. Okay. Our focus is to help everyone win through crowd finance. And that statement, help everyone win, is fundamental to my vision for the business when I created the company, but it also goes through the DNA of Dacxi, where we believe that a lot of opportunities, our focus is on the crowd, our focus is on the masses, and we believe that when people are shown opportunities, for all the buzz, for all the excitement, for all the claims, in reality, people just don't win. Okay, and they should win, and I've made it a passion of mine for decades now, unfortunately, decades to actually say, hey, look, how do we help people win? And therefore, that's why Dacxi will succeed so well, because our focus is to ensure that that's right. So as a business, we're different, okay? And we got stuff happening. We are what that video did was just, to me, we have as a business an enormous raft of images and videos to help people share the message that we've got. As I was telling people before, you know, for me I have been involved with the sharing of opportunities for a long time. I'm considered a specialist in the ability to acquire customers, looking at the future and looking at the opportunities that have happened. For those of you that haven't met me before, I have been actually involved in the opportunities market in the UK. I joined my first opportunity here across the road from the Houses of Parliament, the old Methodist Hall, I think it's called. In fact, nearly 30 years to today. And in this marketplace, I've been a guy who, when it comes to looking at the opportunities, when it comes to determining what are the best things to go into, and then helping organisations create the systems to make all that things happen, I've done that a lot. A lot of the most successful opportunities in this marketplace, I was the coach, I was the guy who ran the systems, or in fact the most successful opportunities market, which is called Telecom Plus or Utilities Warehouse, I actually created it, founded it, listed it on the stock market, created the initial team, and drove that in its early days. And now my passion is this world of crowd finance, is the world of crypto. I'm actually going to bring out a new book on the future of crypto soon. I've been delaying the launch of this for a while just to find when is the right time to launch it, and I think now is the time to launch it. So you will hear a bit of that in the future. And what comes through in that book is what comes through of what I'm going to talk about today. Okay, the reality is that to create financial security, to create financial freedom, you need wealth. Okay, the classic wealth opportunities of property, of shares, of funds that are based on property and shares, and also those bank deposits that people put money away to give them that sort of security and lifestyle. Those opportunities have just simply plateaued, I think is the word that we like to use. Some people think they're going down. A few people think they're going to keep going up. The reality is that the average person thinks, well, hey, they've had a really good run. They're likely to, when we look forward, as far as the opportunities you want to be involved with, it's their real issues. And for that reason, that's why people now look to these new wealth opportunities. Specifically, crypto is the buzz at the moment. And when most people look at this space, they don't really know a lot about it. But the fact is, there's already 500,000 people in crypto in the UK. Some would say more. But as far as really got their heads around this area of wealth creation, we think there's sort of 500,000. Now, the buzz about what we're doing today is there's going to be, we have started actually a second crypto boom. The first wave of crypto is what most people know this business to be about this area, okay? And it boomed at the first crypto wave. It started start of 2000. Prices for Bitcoin, which is really the key asset that people focus on. There was like a couple of $100, but pretty much everyone knows, at the end of 2017, it went through this crazy spike, hit 20,000, and then has corrected in 2018. And the challenge with people, and when you hear from the Aussies that are on here, the challenge that they often that we all focus, or that the challenge that we all have to overcome, is people look backwards at that, and because of that, they miss the opportunity that's happening. Because the reality is, the second crypto boom has actually started. Like, we've hit a low at the end of last year of around $3,000, $3,200, whatever it is around $3,000. And already the marketplace, the market for Bitcoin certainly is around 8,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000. It's around this marketplace. It doesn't matter, because the average person is not going to be looking to trade this thing. They're just going to say, hey, look, I want to buy crypto today because I think it'll go up in the future. And the reality is that everyone is talking about at least 20,000 40,000, 50,000. Some people talk about 100,000 or more. But the fact is when, if you imagine you're looking, I mean everyone you know, the average Joe Blow on the street, they're looking to increase their wealth. What do I buy today that's going to go up in value? And the best performing asset class in the world this year by miles has been the crypto space. Okay, and that's it, really. You know, that's it. If you get that, you understand why people are so excited, because we are just at the start of what should be a dramatic growth boom. And we know it's going to grow, not because of what we think, because of it's simply that the biggest money guys in the world, the biggest investors or purchasers of assets in the world are the financial institutions. And for them to invest, they need platforms that didn't exist really last year, certainly before that, but they are now being launched. And we know that because the NASDAQ, the New York Stock Exchange, the big brokerages like Fidelity, like Ameritrade, both German stock exchanges, London Stock Exchange, and the big Japanese banks, the Singapore Stock Exchange, all of them have announced that they're launching crypto platforms to introduce the big financial institutions, the hedge funds, the pension funds, the high net worth individuals, the people who have the really big money, to drive this asset class to its next level. And that's what's happening. Well, this is the same presentation that we were making last year, when it was like when the market was 150 to actually 200% lower than it was today. And the reality, it's now coming off. And that's why it's so exciting going into the UK, because you're coming into this marketplace with already proof that this is happening. And it was fascinating recently, obviously in the last 48 hours, that Facebook and the crypto space. And the important thing for me really about Facebook coming in is not the fact that it's Facebook, or the fact that they're being involved in crypto. It's like, who cares? So many other major organizations are. But the fact is that, you know, one of the initial challenges that we've had to get over is the fact that there's a whole group of people that believe the bullshit that's on, that's on the media. And they say, oh, crypto's rubbish, it's a fad, it's a scam, it's a bubble. Well, you think of that. Facebook is just coming into the marketplace in partnership with MasterCard, PayPal, Visa, Stripe. This is this organization that is launching this new crypto. It's not Facebook. It's this whole group that you see here, eBay, Spotify. Those are the biggest investment VCs in the Silicon Valley. And all of them are getting involved in launching a crypto. And this is, hey, they're all working together, not because they feel so weak. It's that they've got to go up against the big Chinese and the WeChat and the Alipays. And the point is that concept that crypto, is it ever going to take off, is now laughable. And the point is those big financial institutions, because that's going to drive the market. Do you get it? And if you get anything, I literally should be able to stop this presentation to now and allow, and everyone, if you shared this with people, if they then didn't get involved with crypto at some level, they need their head read. They got rocks in their head. Would you agree? Because you can't challenge this. And we know this because we talk to average people right up to big time financial people. And they just look at this and they go, okay, wow, all right, okay, time to get involved. And so Dacxi is an organization. Our focus is just helping the average person who's never going to spend their time looking to trade crypto and, learning about sort of decentralized blockchains, and just saying, hey, look, what's the best way to get involved? And we know, all investing says it's always better to have a portfolio. And I really like this graph that the guys created, because this was the last boom. In the last boom, people talked about Bitcoin, but if you bought a portfolio of the 3 key blue chip coins, what we call blue chip coins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin, you would have made twice as much, okay, in what should be a more, more secure, more smarter, more smarter portfolio. That, that's better than just buying Bitcoin. So that's what we advise people to do. We have our lead product is called the bundle. It is those 3 blue chip coins. And the reason why we recommend those 3 blue chip coins is not because we love those coins especially. It's just that those are the coins that the huge financial platforms are promoting to the major institutions. So this is where the big money in the world is going to be invested in those crypto coins. And you, if you've been involved in crypto, you may like another coin, and it doesn't matter. Because when you evaluate what your big NASDAQs and Fidelities and, Singapore stock exchanges are promoting to their literally tens of thousands of banks and pension funds, they're promoting these coins. So if you are recommending to your friend, to your mother, to your work colleague that they get involved, but what should be their sort of step, the logical thing is to offer what we call a Dacxi bundle. And the reason is it's super simple. That's the order form. And we allow people to get involved literally at £100, which is, everyone has £100. There is no financial excuse for not putting any money in. There's no financial excuse, not a £1 million, it doesn't matter. And whatever money you put in, we as a company, we then allocate it. We buy 50% of Bitcoin, we put 20% in Ethereum, 10% in Litecoin, and 20% in our own coin called the Dacxi coin, but we add then another 50% more Dacxi coins. So that's another, so instead of 20%, you get sort of 30%. And the point is that you put the money in, the company then buys the coins, and then we put it in your Dacxi wallet, and you don't have to think about it. And that's the key. That's the way that everyone gets involved. Okay, and so we've had a bit of time promoting this, and the reality, we were telling the exact same story, right, guys? Those Aussie on there, that we were saying the exact same story late last year, and those people that heard us, that took action, their portfolios are already up over 150%. Some of them are really shocked that their portfolios have gone up by so much. But that's the reality. That's the reality. It's the hottest market in the world. The last thing that people really worry about is security. And the fact is that Dacxi has the highest grade of security of any crypto exchange on the planet. It's actually higher than every big name exchange that we know of. There's a reason for that. We use the sort of technology and systems to ensure that when we are independently evaluated, and there are 3 leading companies that do that, we hit A+ on all 3. Okay, and that's important, right? Because you're putting your hard-earned money, people that you know are putting their hard-earned money in, so that sort of works. Now, the reality is that we have another product where people just want to buy the Dacxi's own coin. Our coin is what's called a community coin. It's the coin that is the currency of the global Dacxi ecosystem. And I might talk a little bit more about that a bit later. But basically, our Dacxi ecosystem, as we expand all around the world with all the different crowd finance products that we're going to offer to our global community, the currency that people will be using to really take full advantage of our economy will be the Dacxi coin. And the reason why people buy this, and at the moment, I think it's probably 70% of all crypto bought from Dacxi at the moment would be in the Dacxi coins, is simply that it has such good potential. And the power of this coin is not linked to try and pioneer some sort of new technology. The power of this coin is based on the confidence that the public are going to be smart and are going to buy the big blue chip coins. You see what I mean? It's like, it makes an enormous amount of sense, and our technology allows us to leverage that worldwide. And people are excited about it because, you buy a Dacxi pack, and so long as you buy a sort of sensible amount, amount of this stuff, you can get up to 70% more bonus coins, okay? And people are also excited because at the moment, so at Dacxi, we're just launching the UK. So the coin does not have the demand because our economy is not big enough to have massive demand for behind the coin, which is why the price is only 0.5 of the P, but the price is about to go up by 50%, okay? So you need to act fast. That with those bonus coins, the price of your coins is around 3p, okay? It's not exactly correct, but I tell you what is correct is that it means that people buying DAC packs, there, when we have the price increase, are looking at around 150% increase in the value of their portfolio today, okay? And in reality, us raising the price by only 50% is a little bit low when you consider the growth of Dacxi then into the UK, and the excitement in the market. And the reality is, as Squid, or as Andrew's going to tell you later, is that what I just showed you, those 4 odd slides, is all we say to people. We call it a coffee chat. When you just do it sitting next to someone, it takes you about 5 minutes. Just literally nearly everyone we talk to says it's a good idea, and it has a certain power. So Squid, you can hear me, right? Can you talk?
Yeah, of course you can.
Hey, look. What I want to do is before I go on and look at the other affiliate things. Look, I've got on here. You can see him there. His name's Andrew. We call him Squid because his surname is an Italian. He's an Italian name, and Squid and I have been working together on Dacxi for, well, he's known about it since the day I started. But the fact is that Squid has been one of the pioneers, has been actually the leading pioneer of Dacxi in Australia. We've done an enormous amount of pioneering. A lot of the things that you see here are new. And in fact, if someone doesn't go with that pack, we've been pioneering recently a new thing called a 1,000 coin offer, which basically says if someone says, I'm not quite used to this thing, what we do is say, hey, look, you're going to want to get into this marketplace. So why don't you just open a free account on the Dacxi? We'll give you 1,000 coins. You get free education. You get free trading on the exchange for a year. And it's a really simple way for them to open up an account where they're linked, obviously, you as the person who refers them. So that simple way of presenting the opportunity for the average person, and then should they not want to go straight into it, that we have developed this thing which we've been pioneering over the last couple of months. That is just the results are extraordinary. And rather me tell you, I prefer Squid does. So Squid, tell me about it.
It's been a ball, really has. Early days of Dacxi were, we didn't really have the evidence to show people reality of why they need to get involved. Now, I've been involved with crypto for over 4 years now, and the scary days of crypto are dramatically less now than ever before. We're getting involved with real coins that are really going to rocket over the next 2 years, I believe. The introduction of what's happening is going to be absolutely phenomenal. So now it's really easy conversation time. Most people heard about cryptocurrency back in December 2017 when Homer Simpson and all our TV reporters were spruiking how fantastic it was to buy it. And then they had Christmas and New Year's, and they thought they reevaluated it, and Homer and all the news reporters says, maybe you should sell it. And that's what happened. But everyone in Australia, at least, and I'm sure it's no different globally, is focusing on that for Australian dollars, 29,000 down to 4,500 drop. And when they hit 4,500, they all turn their brains off. They just put it in their back of their head. No, it's a scam. It's no good. It had a big drop. And they just haven't really revisited it. They've talked about it a little bit, about the drop over the last sort of 18 months. And that's been their focus. And when you show them that 4,500 has grown to 13,000, 13,500 actually Aussie. That they are all very, 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 very shocked. And when you actually present the A4 coffee chat, they go, wow, I need to get involved somehow. And then it's a matter of, well, they ask, what do you want me to do? And I said, well, I never ever tell people how much, and I never tell people which one to buy. I just give them the evidence of what their situation is, and they make the decision at what they get involved. I found recently when I did the 5,000 Australian dollar funding into Dacxi, into the DAC pack before the price rise, it worked really well. People really understood that they could create a million coins with a $5,000 purchase in Australian dollars. So that was a key thing that I found recently that's worked really, really, really well. So a lot of people funding that plan.
So Squid, you've been over the last 2 weeks. So we've really been using this simplified, it takes about 4.5 minutes, right?
Yeah, if you present every bit of information, about 7, but they're very basics, which most people should be presenting, about 4.5 minutes.
Yeah. And the response to that over the last couple of weeks?
Everyone that sees it gets very excited.
Yeah.
Everyone. It's clear, concise. They take the paper home with them. So it's very, very logical the way that it's gone through.
And that's really, a lot of people want to spin this whole new area of crypto as, they want to talk about how it's going to change society and banking and all that sort of stuff. But in reality, what we want people to understand is that it's just a simple opportunity for them to increase their wealth, right? And that's it. And that's it. And, just imagine that on a rocket, they'd switch from their pounds into US dollars. US dollars goes up, they switch back into their pounds, and hey, give me cricket. The only difference is that this sort of thing is that the price moves around a little bit. You can't keep your eye on it all the time. And you just got to understand that you put your money in, and in a year or two, you want to take a lot more money out. Yeah. And that's it. And we're not even, these aren't securities. It's literally, if you liked 5 types of cars that the price is going to go up, you bought those cars and the price went up, you sold them, and you made a profit from that. It's literally as simple as that. This space is going to get more complex in the future, but to actually look at the opportunity, it's there's so much stuff. Those are people that have met me recently will know that there's a lot of other stuff that's coming to our opportunity. But the reality is that why it will be the biggest earning opportunity in the UK over the next 12 to 24 months is because this boom. And there will be at least 10 million Brits will buy into crypto over the next probably 12 months. And what will happen is that the reason they'll come in is because the price will hit a level, and I don't know what that level is. We sometimes sit around with a beer and try and guess whether it's going to be 10,000 US dollars, 15,000 US dollars, 20,000 US dollars. Who cares? Whatever it is, it's going to hit a point and it's going to be all over the papers, and everyone will be buying in. And the cool thing for Dacxi is that we believe we have the best solution for people, okay? And that's the key. We think we have the best solution because a lot of people will be interested, but they won't take action. At least then you can open up them account on the Dacxi, okay? Does everyone understand it? Because literally that's how simple the product side of our business is. That when it comes to the financial opportunity, we have a slightly a unique financial opportunity, an income opportunity that we offer people, and that we call it our affiliate team network. The fact is that when it comes to financial opportunities, okay, new ones like this, okay, people don't Google it and join. Everyone who's joined got referred by someone, okay? And it's laughing over the last week or so when I've been talking to people. I had experience in crypto, and I say that everyone nods and smiles because it's reality. Therefore, the marketing system that you want to have is one of these affiliate referral systems, okay? And especially when you imagine that over the next 12 months, pretty much everyone that you know is going to get into this space. The reality, it'll be about 50% of the marketplace. But the point is that if you're watching this, you're more likely to have a, you know, your environment is more likely to be slightly more entrepreneurial than other people. And the reality is that, okay, how do we reward people? Well, Dacxi rewards people extremely well, okay? We are not a multi-level. I want to make that super clear, okay? You join our affiliate network. It is free to join, but you've got to become a customer, okay? So you've got to become a customer. You place an order, you get an affiliate code, and you're ready to go, okay? But you've got to obviously become a customer to make it happen, all right? Then what happens is we have what we call a bi-level plan. So that's 2 levels, all right? So we reward the person who who referred the person, okay, who then purchased. So we reward that person, and we reward the person that introduced them, okay? Again, this is not a multi-level. It couldn't be a multi-level. It doesn't need to be a multi-level because the amount of volume that comes in. But, you know, multi-level programs with crypto is not something that the British government or any government is excited about, okay? So for us, licensing is super important. We have the relevant licenses that we need all around the world, including the UK. We also have applications for other licenses as well, just for credibility, for development. But the fact is that if you introduce someone, and it's a bundle, you get 10%. Oh, sorry, 10%, which is doubled to 20% at the moment, okay? The person, who we call the coach, who introduces that person, receives 5%, okay? Doubled from 2.5%. So these, as you can imagine, are really big numbers, and the DAC pack is even slightly better, okay? In fact, that's a mistake. I've just noticed that's a mistake. So the direct is 20% and the coach is 10%, correct? Okay, I'm sorry about that. And so the point is that these as referral bonuses, obviously when you imagine that people are putting in, I think the average order at the moment, certainly over the last 2 weeks, certainly over this month, is over 2,000 Australian dollars, which is around 1,200 pounds, okay? And so, you know, the bonuses are amazing, and they are positive. And when you imagine that the market is going to get even better, it's going to get stronger as the market gets more excited, as people get more confident, as people, in fact, then start to worry that they're going to miss out. That's where our opportunity really comes into play. The point is now is that so you earn. This is a bi-weekly, so we operate for 2 weeks, and at the end of that 2 weeks, we calculate how much someone earned in bonus, and we pay that out in DAC coins. But then what we do is we buy back those DAC coins, where we buy back 50% of the bundle bonuses and 100% of the DAC bonuses. And so that's how the cash is then recycled into the system, okay? That's right. It's really high-paying business. And when you imagine that 10 million Brits are going to come into this space on an average of at least £1,000, you know, within 12 months, that's a £10 billion marketplace over the next 12 months. And if we have the best opportunity, we have the only real affiliate-driven system. You know, you're talking about, like, we should be able to get 10%. So in other words, we should be able to get, you know, £1 billion in money. And so you can see the bonuses, they're enormous. But that's the cool thing about this opportunity right today. It won't be the same in 3 years' time because the market be things. That's why you have to act now, okay? The other reason, if you just look on the right-hand side of that slide, you'll see that we surround that direct system with a digital system, and that is super important. We have a superstar called Amit, who is a literally world-class marketing automation, digital marketing expert. And it's his job to help the affiliate network, to help people look after people, build their confidence. I get something like 70% of our orders are reorders, okay? And that's just started. We expect that to be a lot higher. Often someone comes in at £100 and a month later they come in at £1,000, or they come in at 500, or they come in at 1,000, and then they're coming in at 10,000 and others. That'd be right, isn't it, Squid?
Totally.
Yeah. And it's just a matter of people getting more confident, people getting more excited about the marketplace. The key thing about Dacxi is, I hope you realize, is that we're trying to make this as simple as possible. We're trying to make this as powerful as possible because we have such unique timing and such power that we're able to do that, okay? Obviously, we back the affiliate network up with the best training and support, both live, both digital. We have amazing design. We have lots of really cool things coming down, which you can share with people so they know that when they want to get into the crypto market, that they can come and see you, okay? Where we are in the UK is, as I said, I've just launched. We are ready now to rock and roll. Of the platforms, whether it's a bundle, whether it's a DAC pack, are all operational today. You can actually see that 1,000 coin offer is operational in Australia, but it's also now operational in the UK. These are the only 2 countries in the world where that offer is available. And for us, we're at what we call our seed stage. This is the next 6 months. We're raising some equity to drive the marketplace. We're in the process of looking for affiliate leaders who want to drive the business. We're getting our systems in place. You know, we've tested and proven all of our systems, but you know, be a bit kind to us if it's not, you know, if we make a couple of mistakes. You know, we'll do the best we possibly can. The critical thing that I want to put to you is that this is a very, very time-sensitive opportunity. It's not like a lot of opportunities where they say, "Oh, you got to act now," but this one is one where you really have to act now. Literally, you got to act now, and the difference of a month, a week, a day of delay literally could be measured in huge money, tens and tens of thousands of pounds that you would actually miss out. So really, this is the main story that I would actually like to get out to people. Like, if you get what I've said, then you'll understand how big this is going to be. It is very unique. A lot of people who know me know that I was the original, creator of Telecom Plus Utilities Warehouse. And what happened with that story, because I think that's really relevant to what we're doing in the UK, is that there was a revolution in the UK as far as the regulations of telecoms and utilities, and then the whole digital world of e-commerce. And so the hard part about building businesses based on consumers is what's called customer acquisition. And this idea of using people to find people, and then having people helping people find people. The most effective way of pioneering new markets. But to do that with that market, we had to do things differently. And because we did things differently, because we focused very much on the customer side, on the credibility side. That's why that company now is, a FTSE company. It's worth over £1 billion, and enormously successful, the most successful company in that space. So now this is the next company that I've created, and it is different, and it's meant to be different because the opportunity that it sits on is so exciting that that it has the power. So is there anything, Squid, that you think you can add to the audience that that will help them get off their assets and get involved?
Oh, I do. I've just had a pretty big epiphany yesterday. That's a big word for a North Queenslander. Look, I really believe that the institution is going to smash this so big that it's going to be crazy. But on top of that, I'm just feeling that the retailers are probably going to do it bigger. I think the retailers are all wanting to pick up their own coins. Now they see a lot more liquidity in the marketplace. I think the retailers, like your eBay, is quite huge. I think now that the retailers are really wanting to get crypto into their portfolio, because it's going to get really hard to develop new customers and get money out of customers. But I think they want to have this crypto in their options for funding to buy their products. So I think the retailers are really going to be pushing the market as well to accept cryptocurrencies, and the Facebook coin is just part of that retail market. It's not an investment coin; it's purely for retail. As all the it's a payments coin. So it's designed for the retail market, and I think a lot of companies want the brand of Bitcoin accepted here for retail. But really, it's not a very good retail coin. But they need to put it there for branding. But realistically, we're going to be using other coins to buy our bread and our milk and our fuel and stuff like that. So I believe the multinational retail companies will be the first to jump onto cryptocurrency and force us to use cryptos, and our mobile phones are now being retailed. They're sold with crypto coin wallets in them. And that sort of proves what I'm saying as well. So hell yes, it's going to be an exciting time. And it's going to be really scary for those people that don't get involved. If you have a retail business, you have to work out whatever you need to do to get people to spend their cryptocurrency. Now, Billy, I'm not sure if Billy can talk. Can you talk, Bill?
Yeah, I'm here. Good morning, everyone.
Tell us the story about the Port Douglas story. That's a good story, Bill.
Yeah, I was.
Let me Billy there is Bill is I made him laugh because I'm in Oxford and I saw a David Lloyd's health centre, and he used Billy's background is in sports management, so where he worked for the world's largest sports management company in the States and in the UK. Correct, Bill?
Correct. IMG.
IMG, and so he actually knows the UK market a lot, as much as probably I do, as far as understanding what will attract to this marketplace, and also given his experience in Australia as we've been pioneering that marketplace, I think he'll have insights that will help people understand the relevance of what we're doing in this marketplace, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'll just go back to what Andrew asked me. I was in Port Douglas, which is possibly one of Australia's iconic tourist destinations, and I was just street walking with a friend, and I saw a sign Bitcoin at the shop front.
Street walking means a different thing in the UK, mate.
Oh, yeah, well, it was during the day, nowhere near the red light district. So I was just sort of being a tourist, and I noticed the Bitcoin logo on the shop front. So I went in and introduced myself, asked a few questions, and the lady told me they're averaging between 3 and 8 transactions, and the average spend was between $300 and $500. And what that meant was the high net worth individuals or people who were going to consume something or purchase something with a Bitcoin spent way more than the average spend of $40 by using their Bitcoin. So that rang alarm bells for me, because the merchant had to pay a transaction fee to Bitcoin, having it mined. But the flip side was they sold a lot more merchandise than they would normally to a cash or a debit card or a credit card customer. So it's interesting. And I just think the mechanics, and what Andrew said was brand awareness. So all the magical retailers in North America and around the world are using the Bitcoin logo to attract foot traffic, to attract people to shop in their place of business. And when I used to travel with sport and we were going to buy a hotel for the night, we'd either use Amex, Diners Club, Visa, MasterCard, whatever the hospitality facility accepted. That's what we paid with. And that's where the bundle is going to be exciting. Well, it is exciting. And the quick story about the Bitcoin merchant, I've noticed it more and more recently at Brisbane Airport. You could literally buy a coffee. And I said to some of my team that my coffee wasn't $5, it was $4 because Bitcoin went up 20% overnight. So I got a cheaper coffee. And I think there's going to be more and more acceptance on the merchant side as well as the community coins and asset coins that are on the marketplace.
Yeah, thanks, Billy. Look, the really critical thing that we just want you guys to understand is that Dacxi is a very unique business, which is not specifically, we as a business, our job is to help the public make money. Okay, that's
Correct.
our job. Okay, and what we're doing is whenever we have this bundle, we're excited about the fact that it's a really simple product. Anyone can understand it. You can spend 5 minutes, 7 minutes just explaining it, just all the details that people need to know to be able to get into this space and to have, because of the way we've designed the system, it allows someone to be able to, like Squid was saying earlier, people putting 5K, 10K now is, a daily, it's more than a daily occurrence, happens all the time. And, when you imagine that with a 20% bonus, if it was a DAC pay, there's a 20% bonus, that's a good day's work. Okay. That's a good day's work. And the reality is that is just the start. Sometime in the next 12 months, there literally will be 10 billion pounds of money will be put into crypto by the British population. That's just the UK population. And for us, we have the only system that will allow an average person to be part of that. Anyone can actually buy crypto and get involved with it. But the fact is, to actually then be part, to actually have an income opportunity, we can actually bring those people in, and that just creates your base. We have a whole lot of stuff beyond that. Crypto is literally only the first product of 7 that's going to come into our model, and that's why the DAC coin has the power that it does. Okay. What I want to do is I just want to, I don't like these things going on too long. I just want to, Billy has something he just wants to say. So what do you want, mate?
I was just going to say, to take on affiliate recruitment, the thing that I've learned in the last 2 years goes against the grain of a lot of things, is the warm market that everyone thinks they're going to talk to first is the hardest. I think you're better off talking to strangers, as odd as that sounds. And in England, a cup of chat is probably going to be better than a coffee chat because the Poms drink more tea. But I also think if you practice your rhetoric and your pitch with that coffee chat presentation, as Andrew and your good self have put together, on strangers, not your warm market, your loved ones, your immediate family, expose them to the opportunity, but practice your rhetoric and practice your pitch on people that you bump into at the gym or the supermarket or the laundromat or the library.
And it's so easy to start a conversation, right?
Pardon?
It's so easy to start a conversation.
So easy.
It's crazy.
I have had my epiphany, and I think that's where Andrew stole that word, just recently, looking at the numbers, because as you know, I'm a Jerry Maguire, show me the money kind of guy. And as people are having success, bringing affiliates in, getting a few dollars or pounds into their wallet, they're sharing that opportunity with more and more enthusiasm. And I know, failure brings, reticent to share the opportunity, but we're all having success on an almost daily basis. And I see some commissions hitting my account 2, 3, sometimes 4 times a day. And that's like having your boss walk up to you at the desk and saying, "Here, Bill, here's a bonus today. Go buy yourself a carton of beer." It never happens. So this is a digital bonus that hits my wallet all the time. And when I want to cash out and do something, I absolutely can. So it's a fantastic opportunity. And my only advice in affiliate development and acquisition is talk to people that you don't know first. And then you'll get all your fumbling, stumbling, and mumbling out of the way, and you'll be able to present to the people that you clearly want to help, is your loved ones and immediate friends, better because you've got some experience. That's my tip.
Yeah, I think what we're finding is that we really are. We really are finding that it's getting easier and easier. We found, put it this way, we found with that 1,000 coin offer, okay, that over 50% of everyone you talk to said they wanted to open an account. Like for people like me, it was 100%. But the point is like for an average person with average confidence, those sort of numbers are unheard of in opportunity markets. It's unheard of to say that you can talk to, and literally anyone you talk to. It's so easy to just say, "Hey, look, do you have some crypto?" You get into a conversation.
Double-digit Dacxi.
Now, Gav wanted to say something. Gav.
Yeah, hi. I mean, I just wanted to endorse what Billy said. I think Lorraine was amazed. A bloke came to read the meter. I got him into the sitting room. I couldn't actually get into the computer quick enough. So I said, if you're interested and you only get one chance in your lifetime to really do it, do you want to turn it down or shall I send you something? He said, send me something. The farmer driving up the lane beside the house stopped to have a chat in one of these huge John Deere tractors. And we just got chatting. And he said, well, I could chuck 1,000 in. So he's coming back to me. Billy, you're absolutely right. You just talk to strangers. And then at the end of the day, when you talk to your family and friends, you have such confidence because you built your business on strangers that they then think, oh, well, maybe I'm missing out. Maybe he does know what he's talking about.
The point is that you can share with everyone. Like a lot of people don't enjoy speaking to strangers as the average person, all right? Like I have no problem starting a conversation with anyone, but a lot of people do. The reality is that people don't realize is that you naturally start chatting to people anyway.
Yeah.
And the only weird thing about this space is that it's so easy to talk to someone. And we've just made sure that if they do want to know more, that you can show them enough that they need to know in 5 minutes. If they're not quite sure, you have a system whereby they can open up an account, be linked to you. And so the referral process works. And that's why we're so confident. And that's, Gavin knows that I initially planned to launch the UK actually in March. And I delayed it because of the work that I was doing with people like Andrew and Billy in Australia, just pioneering these systems. There was never a question about the potential of the marketplace. And the reality is I probably would have liked to spend a hell of a lot more time just focusing 100% on Australia. But the reality is that this market is starting to rock, okay? And we can't hang around any longer, and we really need to move it forward. So, look, what I want to do is I just want to finish the recording now because this is going to be shared by people. If someone has shared this video with you, I hope that you can you take it seriously, please. If you are looking to make money or looking at opportunities, this literally is the most exciting. It will be the highest paying opportunity in the UK, certainly the easiest opportunity of making money in the next 12 months. It is all been driven by an opportunity that has nothing to do with anyone other than the largest financial institutions wanting to get into the space. They've been hanging around. Now they're pouring in. If they're going to drive the prices of those blue chip coins super high, Dacxi and the DAC coin rides upon that boom. and we have the simplest, most effective affiliate system to make it happen. And so if that's you, then that would be fantastic. Okay, so thanks a lot, and get back to the person who referred you.